What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchet REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
be sure to scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
This video is sponsored by Pianote. The Eurovision Song Contest is a competition where various European, and sometimes not European, countries enter an original song, and then all of the countries vote for the best one, and frankly, it's quite wild. Since its quite conservative beginnings back in the 1950s, the contest has evolved into a colourful display of politics, nonsense, and actually also sometimes some pretty good music. So particularly for the benefit of my mostly non-European viewers, let me introduce you to the weird and wonderful world of the Eurovision Song Contest. Now, particularly in recent decades, the contest has become known for its more eccentric performances. Some just a little quirky.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Some just a bit garish. And some, well...
He's serious. Whoa! Oh! He look like one of them toddlers. He
weird.
look like one of them toddlers when you put him on the dance floor and say, "Go, baby, go!" I gotta play that back. Yo, from the top. Hold on. Look, he's serious too. I ain't know this one. Bow.
But even if the weird eye-catching performances are the ones that get a lot of attention, the songs that go on to win the contest are usually a bit more ordinary. Perhaps the most unusual act to ever win the contest was the Finnish hard rock group Lordi in the year 2006.
Bro, they got the mask on and all too. And I gotta say, rock sounds fire. Like whenever I'm watching a movie and it's fitting with the theatrics, and I'm like, yo, it's finna turn up. Something about to happen. I never been to a rock concert, and to see that type of stuff, it's different. It gotta be different.
Who y'all favorite rock band? I don't know if. Baby, you gotta be aware for the rock concerts. They be throwing stuff in things.
I seen a ladder fly one time. Well, nobody was climbing. It was just in the air floating. It's like,
for no reason.
No reason.
Saying they were unusual just because of their demonic costumes, Lordi winning the contest was also unusual because they were playing rock music. Rock songs rarely make an appearance at Eurovision, let alone win. The only other rock song that's won the contest was Zitti I Buoni by Italian band Maneskin in 2021. The sort of songs that typically win the contest will usually have a dash of novelty in their performance, but will generally just be a pretty good, straightforward pop song. Toy by Netta, for example, which won the contest for Israel in 2018, does contain a brief chicken impression. But beyond that, it's a fairly standard and fairly catchy pop song.
Yeah, she won for the chicken impersonation. Yeah.
And also, side note, if you're thinking right now, that song sounds a lot like Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, well, you're not alone. Universal Records also spotted the likeness, and after threatening legal action, Jack White was credited on the song. So, in a roundabout way, the White Stripes kind of co-wrote a Eurovision-winning song. Nowadays, most Eurovision entries...
like sampling music, you gotta give credit. Whenever you're sampling any artist, especially if they're one of those classicals, like, cause if you don't, it's gonna bite you.
And the people gonna know.
They gonna we heard a few remixes. It was like
Cupid.
Oh, Cupid.
When they tried to take Cupid's song.
Yeah. Oh, you so right. They sure did. He even spoke on that too.
Yes, he was like, I know y'all didn't.
Bro, and they look.
Cupid said, I'm from Lafayette, baby.
Hey, ain't no matter how far you are across the world, bro. Like a classic is a classic. Like it's gonna come right back to it.
Including most winning songs, will tend to be sung in the English language, regardless of which country they're actually representing. But this is a fairly modern trend. For the first couple decades of the contest, every winning song was actually sung in the country's native language. The first winning song not to be sung in the act's native tongue was 1974's Waterloo, sung by Eurovision's greatest success story, ABBA. ABBA aren't the only act, though, to have been launched to international success by Eurovision. In 1988, a French-Canadian singer called Celine Dion represented Switzerland at Eurovision and won.
We all know some Celine Dion.
Yes, love her.
Celine Dion was already well known in her home country of Canada as a French-language singer, but it wasn't until after winning Eurovision that she started releasing English-language music and became the global megastar that she is today. Another now household name to appear at Eurovision before they had quite made it is Olivia Newton-John, who represented the UK in 1974. Much like with Celine Dion, in 1974, Olivia Newton-John was an established singer, but it would still be 4 years before she shot to global fame and starred in the film Grease. Now, if you're thinking, wait, how did Canadian Celine Dion represent Switzerland? Well, a Eurovision contestant doesn't have to be from the country that they are representing. For example, American rapper Flo Rida represented San Marino in 2021, alongside Italian singer Sanhit. Flo Rida is one of many established artists who made an appearance at Eurovision. Although the song they perform at the contest must be a brand new composition, the performer doesn't have to be some little known or unknown artist. Many already very well established artists have appeared at Eurovision, including Cliff Richard, who represented the UK in 1968 and 1973. Congratulations and jubilations, I won the world. And Katrina and the Waves, who were known for their 1980s hit Walking on Sunshine, who won Eurovision for the UK in 1997.
You saw that hairstyle on all Lifetime shows.
The country to have won Eurovision the most is Ireland. And 3 of those Irish wins are actually thanks to one person,
Wait, who's in
Johnny
the
Logan.
I'm sorry, y'all. Let's see. I gotta see who's in the
description. And do consider subscribing to their YouTube channel. The country to have won Eurovision the most is Ireland. And 3 of those Irish wins are actually thanks to one person, Johnny Logan. Johnny Logan is not only the only performer to have won Eurovision twice, performing Ireland's winning song in both 1980 and 1987, but he also composed Ireland's 1992 winning song. Ireland is also the only country to have won the contest 3 years in a row, winning Eurovision 92, 93 and 94. In fact, some have speculated that in 1995, Ireland intentionally entered a lackluster song to avoid winning the contest a 4th time in a row.
I don't know, see?
But why would a country not want to win Eurovision? Well, because the winning country has to host the next year's contest. And hosting Eurovision can be a very expensive thing to do.
He said, baby, look, I done spent way too much money. I ain't doing it for a full time.
Well, you gotta host it all and do everything?
Yeah, but that's fair.
Well, it's like having your money, like you win. I'm pretty sure money is involved when you win these things, but it's like investing back into what you, so you can come back if anything. You know?
Yeah, it's like homecomings.
Yeah.
You know, in college and, you know, grade school.
Mm-hmm.
The past king and queen come back to crown the new king and queen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like that.
Many speculate that some of the more dreadful acts that have been put forward to Eurovision over the years were intentionally bad because the country didn't want to risk winning and therefore having to host the contest. This is particularly the case for the so-called Big Five. Although the main spectacle of Eurovision is the grand finale, most countries who enter the contest have to first qualify in a semi-final. But the Big Five, France, Germany, the UK, Spain and Italy, automatically qualify for the grand finale due to these countries' large monetary contribution to the running of the contest. This means that if one of those Big Five don't want the hassle and expense of hosting Eurovision next year, they might intentionally enter a mediocre song. Now, the system by which countries are voted for has changed over the years, but is generally some sort of mix of a professional jury and votes from the general public. The rules and structure of Eurovision have changed many times during the contest's almost 70-year history. An interesting example of the rules having to change, actually, was after the 1969 Eurovision, where 4 different countries, the UK, Spain, the Netherlands and France, all won the contest. They were all joint winners of Eurovision. This is because they all scored the same amount of points, and no tiebreaker rule had been introduced to the contest yet. Needless to say, the next year a tiebreaker rule was introduced. Now, getting over 30 different countries to all compete against each other in a song contest is going to result in some politics. Of course, it's well known that certain countries will always vote favourably for their close allies. For example, Greece and Cyprus always vote for each other, and the UK and Ireland often swap votes.
So,
but more notably,
preferably, what would you want? Because you remember back in the day, they used to get on like the little commercial breaks and say, text this number to vote for your fave.
Right.
And everybody will put in their votes like that, and that's how a person will win. Or should they just go ahead and have like the panel and let the voters go ahead and see who wins that way?
I'd rather the general public vote.
But then you have the people who's like the masses.
Okay, well then they would vote to, the tiebreakers.
Okay.
Well, I would rather the public vote. I don't know, but do y'all vote like that? Like for an artist, if it's not an artist from your country, you'll vote for an artist from the allied country. I don't see myself voting like that.
I mean, I like talent, so
yeah, but
if it hit, like if that person's killing it, they really good. I ain't worrying about like history or none of that.
Politics.
At the moment, you're killing it, and you deserve to win.
Right.
You know
It's about that. It's about who has the best song or the best performance.
In years where Eurovision takes place against more politically charged world events, you can often see those events reflected in the voting. For example, last year, Ukraine won Eurovision. And although their song was good, and Ukraine have won the contest before, it's probably not a coincidence that they won in the year 2022. Likewise, the first Eurovision Song Contest that took place after Brexit had completed, which was 2021, the UK scored the dreaded nil point.
And the United Kingdom gets from the public 0 points.
Wow. I'm confused now.
Of course, it can be hard to
Nobody
tell
voted for
conclusively
them?
how much politics is really influencing the voting. Maybe the UK's entry that year just was...
What?
That's tough.
I don't get that.
From the world, not one vote. Not one.
Oh.
Unless something is not making sense for us and y'all can bring us up to speed because...
Because how?
He said from the public, 0.
Confuse me.
Very good.
Sometimes I know my fire burns low, but as long
This is the group that made 0.
For example, when the UK got nil point in 2003, some cited the UK's recent and controversial joint invasion of Iraq as the reason that the UK had received no points.
Oh.
But also that year, the UK's entry did sound like this.
Today it's a no. But back then, that was into the future, all the futuristic millennium type stuff, 99 and 2000s. That was that music. It was big at that time.
Yeah, it's giving it is giving futuristic.
Britney
I feel like
Spears.
the sound was in its prime right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Disco.
Techno.
That,
yeah.
The glitter.
Yeah. See, she looked like Britney Spears up there with that short dress.
Yeah.
That was
I
that
don't
era.
know. Maybe it was the moves, babe. Maybe it was the dance moves.
Okay.
Maybe let's see what the dance
I was
moves.
gonna say he looked like Justin Timberlake in them.
Okay.
But also
Watch
that
the
year,
moves,
the
though.
UK's
Check the
entry
moves.
did sound like this.
See, in sync. That was the move back then.
So maybe it's not all about politics. Eurovision performances have often been used as a platform for raising
No,
awareness.
but for real, back before we even go to that, no, like for real, that was during that era. Bills.
Yeah.
Destiny Childs.
Yeah.
Who else? Like they were in that. I can't really articulate what I'm saying.
You're talking to Gen Z right now because they probably won't understand. Like we came up in the era where groups was a thing.
Yeah.
So
where people
you got to
were
think
just
about it
starting to
this
break out.
around this time too, and you can tell what type of year they in just by how they dress and the setups they got in the background.
Right.
All that was like a really
The
big
dance
thing.
moves.
Even the dance moves. y'all.
Everybody doing the same dance.
So
move.
now it's like we're single-handedly. I'm just speaking up, but now it's like single-handedly doing things ourselves when it comes to
Solo.
music. Everybody's solo, but we came from the group era.
Everybody was in the group.
Yeah.
So they had that. B2K had one too. It was like the titles were like repetition words. Like, dang, bump, bump, bump. You know,
Mm.
girls,
Yeah,
girls,
yeah, yeah.
girls, bye, bye, baby. You know,
Mhm.
so that was that era. So for that era, they could have won with it.
Yeah, and don't
you
be
know?
surprised if y'all hear people start talking like that again. They start saying things twice.
Things repeat.
Like you know.
Yeah.
Things like that. Okay.
Like that.
And visibility of issues and causes, perhaps most notably,
See?
Eurovision has
Yo.
increasingly
Austin
become a
Powers.
fantastic champion of LGBT plus pride. Various openly LGBT acts have appeared at Eurovision. For example, drag queen Conchita Wurst won the 2014 contest for
Would
Austria.
this be the first drag queen to win?
So that is Eurovision, a unique intersection between geopolitics and music, and one that never fails to surprise and entertain.
cook.
Of course, after winning last year's contest, by all rights, Ukraine should be hosting the competition this year. But due to the current situation, last year's runner-up, the UK, is hosting it instead, and it's actually happening next week in Liverpool. So let me know in the comments.
All right, man. Make sure you guys check it out. This is obviously big. You got all the countries. You know what I'm saying? That's involved.
Why they keep us out?
Yeah,
Why
I mean,
are we excluded?
and not just that. When it comes to television, I don't know if we even airing stuff out like this.
I never heard of this before.
Neither have I.
Only on here.
Well,
Yeah.
let us know your favorite group. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who y'all like to root for? What country?
Do y'all
root
go?
for? Yeah.
You know, purchase tickets and stuff. Do y'all go?
Mm-hmm.
Let us know. All right. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.